If you are someone who enjoys romance movies that feel real, not perfect, not glossy, but honest, then this list is exactly for you. These are not fairy tale love stories. These are the kind of films that show what actually happens after the happy moments fade. Relationships that deal with time, distance, mistakes, growth, and sometimes even silence. The kind of stories that stay with you because they feel familiar. Some of these films quietly came and went without huge attention, but every single one of them delivers something meaningful. So let's dive into 10 more mature and realistic romance movies you probably missed. 1. Before Midnight on 2013. Not every love story stays magical forever, and this film proves that in the most honest way possible. The third installment in the Before trilogy brings us back to Jesse and Celine, now years into their relationship. What makes this film stand out is how it focuses on the reality of long-term commitment. The conversations feel natural, sometimes uncomfortable, and deeply personal. Instead of big dramatic events, the film builds tension through dialogue. You see how small frustrations, unspoken expectations, and life responsibilities slowly create cracks. It's not about falling in love. It's about staying in love. The arguments are intense but real, showing how even strong relationships require effort every single day. This is one of those rare films that feels less like a movie and more like watching real people talk. 2. Marriage Story, 2019. This is not a typical romance film, yet it might be one of the most honest love stories ever told. Instead of focusing on how a relationship begins, it shows how one ends. The story follows a couple going through separation, but what makes it powerful is how it never paints either side as wrong. The film explores how two people can still care deeply about each other, even when they can't stay together. The emotional weight comes from simple moments like conversations, shared memories, and quiet realizations. It highlights how love does not always disappear when a relationship changes. Sometimes it just evolves into something different. 3. Take This Waltz, 2011. This film captures something many people feel but rarely talk about. The idea of emotional restlessness in a stable relationship. It follows a married woman who finds herself drawn to someone new, not because her current relationship is broken, but because something feels missing. What makes this story realistic is how it does not rush into judgment. It simply shows how people sometimes struggle with desire, curiosity, and routine. The pacing is slow, allowing you to sit with the characters' emotions. It's a quiet reminder that relationships are not always about right or wrong, but about understanding what truly makes us feel connected. 4. Columbus, 2017. This is a soft, thoughtful film that focuses more on connection than romance in the traditional sense. Two strangers meet and form a bond while dealing with personal responsibilities and family expectations. The setting itself becomes part of the story, with architecture reflecting the emotional state of the characters. There is no rush here. Conversations unfold slowly, giving space to thoughts and feelings. The film explores how timing plays a huge role in relationships. Sometimes people meet at the right moment, and sometimes they don't, and that difference can shape everything. 5. The Lunchbox, 2013. A mistaken delivery leads to a quiet yet beautiful connection between two strangers in a busy city. What begins as simple notes exchanged through a lunchbox slowly turns into something deeper. The film shows how companionship can grow in unexpected ways, even without physical presence. What makes this film special is its simplicity. There are no dramatic twists, just everyday emotions. Loneliness, hope, and the comfort of being understood. It shows that sometimes the most meaningful relationships are built through small, consistent moments rather than grand gestures. 6. Enough, said, 2013. This film brings a refreshing and mature perspective to dating later in life. It follows two people who meet and start a relationship. But things get complicated when past experiences begin to interfere. The beauty of this story lies in its honesty. It shows how insecurities and assumptions can quietly affect a relationship. The characters feel real, flawed, and relatable. Instead of a dramatic conflict, the film focuses on misunderstandings that many people experience. It's warm, thoughtful, and quietly impactful. 7. Like Crazy, 2011. Long-distance relationships are often romanticized, but this film shows the reality behind them. It follows a young couple separated by circumstances, trying to hold on despite distance and time. The story feels almost documentary-like, with natural performances and minimal structure. You see how communication gaps, time zones, and missed moments slowly affect their connection. It captures the emotional distance that can grow even when love is still present. This is not about dramatic breakups, but about how life slowly changes things. 8. In the Mood for Love, 2000. A beautifully crafted story about restraint, longing, and unspoken emotions. Two neighbors discover a shared situation and begin forming a quiet connection. What makes this film unique is what it chooses not to show. The emotions are subtle, expressed through glances, silence, and atmosphere. It explores how timing and circumstance can shape relationships. Sometimes love exists without ever being fully realized. The film stays with you because of what remains unsaid. 9. A Bigger Splash, 2015. This film dives into the complexities of past relationships resurfacing. A couple's peaceful vacation is disrupted when someone from the past re-enters their lives. What follows is a mix of tension, memory, and emotional uncertainty. The film shows how past connections never fully disappear. Old feelings, unresolved issues, and memories can suddenly come back and affect the present. It's intense at times, but grounded in realistic emotional reactions. Relationships are not always neat, and this film embraces that chaos. 10. Brooklyn, 2015. A gentle and emotional story about love, identity, and choice. It follows a young woman who moves to a new country and builds a new life, only to be pulled back by her past. What makes this film realistic is the emotional conflict. It's not just about choosing between two people, but between two versions of yourself. The story highlights how love is often tied to place, memory, and personal growth. It's quiet, sincere, and deeply human. So these were 10 more mature and realistic romance movies that go beyond the usual love story formula. These films do not rely on big dramatic moments. Instead, they focus on the small details that truly define relationships. Conversations, timing, misunderstandings, growth, and sometimes even silence. If you enjoy stories that feel real and stay with you long after watching, these films are definitely worth your time. And if you want more hidden gems like these, make sure to stick around, because there are always more stories waiting to be discovered.